Welcome back, wood lovers. It's Tommy's Tonewoods. Today we are looking at Malus domestica, English Bramley Apple, a fruit wood, and one that I'm very, very curious about and excited about. One I haven't worked with yet. Well, I started working with it, as is the case with many of the new materials that come into my workshop. I get them in, get very, very excited, and decide that I have to build with them immediately, and then they eventually get put on the back burner. But anyway, Malus domestica, English Bramley Apple, specific gravity of 0.83, and interestingly, on the Janker scale of hardness, we're looking at 1,730 pounds force. Don't know why I said it like that. It sounded like a game show host. 1,730 pounds force. Anyway, yes. Just drunk coffee. Should never drink coffee in the afternoon. That's why I'm a little bit hyper. Anyway, and this wood's great. So yes, fruit woods are very interesting, very lovely. Apple in particular, it's very hard, it's very dense, very, very fine grained. So quite often it's used in small decorative items, things like furniture, knobs, spindles, plates, bowls, handles on tools, this kind of thing, because of the size of the tree. You know, they're not, an apple tree is not enormous. A Bramley apple tree is between like 4.5 and 9 meters tall, so not huge. Certainly very difficult to get quarter sawn boards all the way to the edge, big enough for an acoustic guitar. This is a really nice example. It's just starting to get onto the kind of crown cut side here, but it's pretty well quartered. And the colour is really interesting. We've got some kind of grey brown, then there's like some pastel pinks with kind of lilac hues in there, and then we've got these kind of darker lines which are very reminiscent of something like olive. So this is going to be cool. I'm excited to work with this. In fact, back in the summer, Ted and I started a Model M in Apple. It's going to have a nice inlay in here. This is a really nice example as well. You can see more here of that kind of olive wood kind of characteristic. I think that's really pretty, really understated, but I think under finish, it's going to look pretty special indeed. So let's give it a little tap, because that's what we all showed up for. It's very dense, remember. So think about what a dense wood might sound like. Now hopefully you can hear that high kind of ringing. There's a suggestion. There we go, you can hear a bit more of it there. Now that's the kind of thing I would expect from a dense wood like this. There we go. There, it's starting to sustain. And when I'm doing tap testing, I'm using the kind of pads of my fingers, and I'm trying to find a node point. So I don't want to be interrupting the vibrational wave, the sound wave, when I'm holding the piece of wood. So I want to be holding it on a node point. And it's just a case of moving the grip position around until you find that node point, and the piece of wood is able to vibrate without being dampened. Interesting. That's nice. So I'm just tapping it again with the kind of end of my finger, catching it a little bit with the nail. That's really pleasing. Yeah, there we go. So I think something like Apple, with it being really fine grained and really dense, I think it's going to be one of those woods, judging by how it's tapping, that's going to really allow the top wood to shine through, really bring out the full characteristic of the top wood. I would say this is something, I would say this is kind of like an inert. I would use the word inert. It's a kind of inert back. I don't expect it to add too much character to the sound, but I don't expect it to kill or sap any of the vibrational energy that's in the system, like something less dense might. So with this one, this back, this is going to be a stock build that we started. It's a Model M, and I think we're going to pair this with a Swiss spruce top. Can't really go wrong. And at some point it'll get finished. Shall we have a little blast with the magic spray? Let's have a little blast with the magic spray. Yeah, really subtle, understated, but some really nice colour in there. Very, very reminiscent of something like olive. I really do like Fruitwoods. It's very similar to cherry, although cherry is a lot softer. This is really nice. That's really kind of pulled out the kind of purple hues in there. This is going to be a very smart guitar. I think I'm going to pair it with some Wenge binding and maybe introduce a splash of colour in there. Perhaps not pink this time, but definitely I think with something quite plain and simple like this, I think we can afford to jazz it up with some bold colour in the binding there. Yeah, lovely. So there we go. English Bramley Apple, Malus domestica. A really intriguing wood, nice and locally available, not endangered, not on any red lists. And spraying the alcohol on here is releasing some of the apple notes, pun intended, from the wood. It smells like schnapps. It smells like apple schnapps, which is really cool. I expect when I put this through the sander, the whole workshop will smell like Grandma's house when she's baking apple pie. So there we go, Malus domestica. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Remember to hit the bell if you're a first-time subscriber so you'll get notified of new videos. And leave a comment. Please get involved. There's some great conversation going on. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up as well. And it all helps to support the channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. That is my target. I'd love it if you could help me reach it. Let's say before the end of March. It's a good target. So, till tomorrow.